time of the day, or what part of the earth that you're watching this here show from today. I'm in here with my good brother Post, Jay. I never know who's gonna hop in here. I can hear myself in the background. Somebody be playing in the back. Don't matter. But listen. I was with you guys. We did the multiplayer podcast, and I just want to say that shameless plug. If you have yet to see the multiplayer podcast, all I'm gonna say is Black Baron came out swinging. He ran out of cast. Then King Trash hopped on him in the chat, turned on. Everything went left after that. You know what I mean? You got to check out the last multiplayer podcast. It's always entertaining to say the least, man. But everybody's most important. At the end of the show, everybody's relationships remained intact. You know what I mean? Yep. It is what it is. But with that being said, like I said, we got a few things we're going to talk about today. We got rumors. We're not really more or less more likely than not. Rocksteady is been working on they thought to be a Superman game, but Superman is evolved the game. Now they say it's an Injustice game, which I don't know if they changed scopes or whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about that. More rumors of PlayStation 5, 2019, and the Xbox Scarlett. We're going to talk about that. Also, no PSX for 2018. We got to talk about that. What else came on? And also two posts. When you got something special in the mail today. What happened today, brother? You got something special in the mail.
You know what, yo? Before I even get started, man, I know I've talked to you two brothers behind the scenes, you and Jay, but I want to publicly thank you all, man.
Oh, you ain't got to do all that, bro.
What you all done for me, man. Y'all are. I say y'all, like I say, y'all my brothers for life, man. There's very few people like y'all still left in the world.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it, bro.
I'm humble. I appreciate it, man.
For sure.
And I got love for y'all, for real talk. But I got my PS4 Pro today, but I thought it was going to be a regular PS4 Pro. And I opened up the box, and it was a limited edition Spider-Man PS4 Pro. And I damn near jumped off the wall. You know, I was just grateful with just a regular PS4 Pro, but you two dudes went beyond and went the extra mile, man. I love y'all for that, and I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, for sure.
Greatness is now on the TV, but like I said, it is a new system, so I got to finish cleaning up the whole house before I can set up everything. You know, you get a new system, you pull out the bleach, you pull out the mop, the white gloves, you wipe everything down before you set anything up. But I just want to give y'all all the love and respect I can.
It ain't like that, man. Ain't nothing but love. It wasn't nothing but love. I wouldn't do it, man. And it is what it is. Look, let me tell you something, for real, and not to make this show too mushy. Like I said, Post is a genuine dude. Like I don't, I met her, and I'm not listening. I'm not gonna be messy. I'm not gonna take this time to throw anybody under the bus. But again, you don't meet too many people that's solid within this community. And I'm quite sure some of you guys have heard some of the most craziest things about me. I think a lot of times people get caught up in the character of next gen 720, and not actually me. Ain't nothing but love. I don't own no stake in Microsoft, Sony, and it is what it is. But I don't.
AMD.
Shout out to Dave stock in AMD. You know what I mean? But again, I tell a joke quick. You know what I mean? And this is how I am in life. Post, we done talk. I don't mean nobody no harm. So if somebody to go out of their way to do some weird shit, and that's on them, bro. You know what I mean? It is what I ain't got a problem cutting the joke off either. But with that, I mean, I'm happy you got your PlayStation 4. Now you can experience in so many. One thing I say about getting a console late, there's so many great games you can go back and play and experience for the first time. You know what I mean? So you got your God of War. You're gonna play the Spider-Man. Detroit was ill. It's a bunch of stuff that you can go out there, check out for dirt cheap right now. Uncharted 4 and Horizon Zero Dawn. And you got so many things. Like I said, you can go out there and finally check out for yourself. Somebody just put something in the chat or whatever. I can't see it.
Shout out to Jamal King. He said, "What's good?" He post up in my
for sure.
Fuck niggas.
For sure. Was good. But like I said, there were some rumors. Well, actually, what you want to talk about first? You guys want to talk about PSX being canceled? You want to hop into Rocksteady's new game? You want to talk about? Well, I guess we can say the PS5 and SCARLETT. That's probably the juiciest shit. We can say that to the tail end of the show.
Yeah, we can say that for last.
As the rumors filling up, so we can, I guess, talk about PSX being canceled. And I ain't gonna lie, this came from out of left field. I wasn't expecting this. But Jay Kratos, you're the resident. You've been, pro PlayStation since I met you. I actually had to block your ass on Twitter a few times for being too pro PlayStation. Hey, it's crazy. Me and this cat nigga Steve's now, right? I can stand it. Word is born. Like, he up early. And so, and for those that know me, know I ain't a morning person whatsoever, man. So, if I'm up early in the morning, I mean, I ain't go to bed the night before. Like, I've been up on Adderall, you know what I mean, flirting with niggas' grandmothers and everything. He up, like, mind you, what you in Texas? So what
Yeah,
I'm about 3 hours ahead of you, 2 hours ahead of you, 3 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning for me, so it's about 3 a.m. for him. He up there with his foolish and fuck much of him right to the block list. Boom! Talking that shit early in the morning.
Hey, I'll tell you this: there is nobody on Twitter that's immune from my trolling.
Hey, yo, I'm like, man,
Yo,
like, who is this? Who is this? But now
that
he my
nigga
man.
be on it, bro.
Hey, yo, but now I don't even know how we got fly. I think Porter Rock brought your bum ass in here with one of the multiplayers. I needed a pony. And after that, it was all love.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? For sure. But anyway, like I said,
good dude, man.
Oh yeah, for real, man. I want to say this too. I know Jay, you were accused of panhandling for likes and views because you give the. I honestly say on some real shit.
Oh yeah, that pissed me off.
Yeah,
that pissed me off, bro.
This joker has again such myself. I'm not saying I'm just not even a pissing contest. I witnessed he didn't give away a lot of things within this community. Shit, myself, I am a witness of his generosity. But look at, I always tell you guys, I go through shit in real life. I'm not gonna get into the details. Just know that I couldn't leave the house for a little while, not too long ago. And I needed another controller. My controller had died and shit. Brother out the kindness is hard to nowhere. I ain't asking for nothing. Just telling me what happened. Sent me the controller to the house. Boom! I said, oh shit. You know what I mean? So again, I can say bear witness to for his generosity. It wasn't nothing made public on Twitter or anything like that. It was just something he did on the hum. Like I said, again,
around the time I got my collector's edition, I was just getting to know Jay, and it came out of nowhere. I'm like, what? Even though low key I thought it was a pro at first, but I had to relook. But I was still like, wow, and I was appreciative, man. He was like, man, he let his son go through his feed and let his son pick who's the winner. And he said his son picked me, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. So when I saw the post that other people were making, I'm like, nah, man, you 100 that you up there. You don't try to put no dark or trying to darken his shine. He doing something for the community. He's in a position to do that, man. Motherfucker should welcome that. You know what I'm saying?
It's a couple of people in the gaming community. You know, the gaming community is a small community.
It is.
I try to do what I can. Randomly, you know, just because, you know, it's like, you know, that could be a blessing to somebody, you know. But you know, at the end of the day, you got haters out there that see people doing things like that and don't require nothing back. You know, there's no strings attached to, you know, I've given random stuff away to Xbox guys, PlayStation guys, Nintendo guys. It really don't matter. But you got people out here that, you know, give away small codes and stuff like that, and they got 40,000 subs, and they're making a business out of this.
Let me say, unless we're gonna start the show, I'm gonna say this, right? What I've learned, and I don't know how long you've been a part of this community, or just actually partaking in it, but I met you I think last year or maybe 2 years now. However long it's been, you know what I mean? I can say this that me personally, I've bought in consoles. I'm not gonna say anything for people that have. If you just think about some of the issues I've had online, some of my biggest detractors. Never asked somebody for it now. And again, you don't hear me talking about it, bragging about it, because I feel like if you got to come up here and brag and talk about it, you're doing it for the wrong reason. I've always been this type of dude. If we all hanging out together, I don't like it if I'm just having fun. I want everybody to have fun. And that's just maybe because I don't have no siblings. If I go to Jamaica, even the street, I was in the streets heavy. If I went to Jamaica, everybody going to Jamaica. If I'm going to Barbados, everybody. And I've always had that, like I said, that mentality. But again, I've also learned that, no matter what you do or what you give, motherfuckers still gonna hate you. You know what I mean? So I've been kind of selective. If for those, even when I do my giveaways, I'll be damned if I get something away to it. The joker that hate me, tell me no. Yeah. But no, I'll reach I'll go back and look at the comments. I see who did support me. A lot of time I hear, take this code or whatever. I do it on GP, and not even announcing it, because again, for those that show up and watch the content every day, like I said again, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? It means the world. Maybe going out to support anything that Jay does or posts whenever he finally gets his channel with the ground. It's just like the Detox album. Whoever, King's Blood, Neth.
It's coming, man. I'm kind of cracking on Twitter right now, so it's about the time.
You know what I mean? But anyway, as I'm posting the link, you guys can see the chat. So listen, I want somebody to say something too about you having to pay. Listen, I'm not looking at the screen a lot of the times. I don't see the chat. I'm off the screen posting the links and other forums and stuff. So I don't see the link a lot. So I say post, read the thing. I can hear it go from get a bang in my ear, but I'm not actually looking at the screen. So I'm not intentionally. They get offensive. avoid anyone's message. If I see it, I see whatever the case. Like I said, I'm human. I can go back and look at the chat later on, but again, I appreciate all love, support. I'm not intentionally ignoring anyone. I don't know. I just have to say that. I'm not gonna say no name, but motherfuckers in this film. No, it ain't like that, bro. It ain't like that. So cool out with the weird shit. Now, with that being said, right? I just had to put that out there. So, PSX is canceled. Now, MJ.
Yeah.
I know I got this contract, right?
You got that contract.
Right now, Crapgamer brothers are on my heels.
Yeah.
They told me I went pony far too soon. Sony pulled the black band, went out there and shot they load, and ran out of gas. Now here's Microsoft stepping on the field. They said, Phil, they bullshit no more.
Yeah.
Microsoft's coming out with their show, Sony canceled their show.
Yeah.
Listen, did I sign the goddamn contract too late?
Nah. I'm gonna listen. All right. PSX. That's one show. Last year, a lot of people really didn't like the show because how it was set up on stage and stuff. Now, I attended PSX last year, had a great time. It was a great experience. That doesn't make or break anything that they canceled the show. That actually, to me, tells me that they're not only winding down the PS4 era, but they're working on the PS5, and they're about to, like they did with the PS4, they'll reveal it in around February, March frame, and then they'll release it sometime around November.
Okay.
So why, it just makes perfect sense. Why would they show you their next generation stuff when one, sales are so high you can't even find the systems, the games are highly rated through the roof. They got 2-3 games that's in Game of the Year running right now. So I can see them wanting to hold something back for either E3 or either this reveal. But what they did with the PS4, they had Mark Cerny come out on stage around February, March time frame, tell you about the system, what it's going to be capable of, all the tech that's in it. And then at E3, I think they showed off the system, the physical system, how it looks. And then in November, that's when they launched. And so this makes perfect sense. 2019 is their 25th anniversary for the PlayStation. So they're looking to capitalize on that. If they take a few, hidden things that they got launching with the PS5 and they show it to you, then that's kind of blowing their load a little bit too early. We already know they got The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Samurai Showdown, what is a Project Awakening, and all of these other games that's going to come out. That's Death Stranding. I mean, it's just so much stuff that they got coming next year. It's ridiculous. So they have that, but I can say I'm not quite ready to see their PS5 content just yet, and only because I do want to be shocked when I see it.
Okay. All right. Now again, Jay.
Yep.
This is a drug-free environment. I would hate to question your integrity. Post, I know you just got your pro. But listen, okay. I'm gonna look at this glass as being
half full. Yeah.
Half empty. Fuck it. Now, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm always for new tech, right?
Yeah.
Always for new tech, and I'm all about new consoles, new tech. This generation did start in 2013, but believe it or not, it's already been 5 years. A typical console generation is normally, in the past, has been between 4 to 5 years.
Yep.
We're talking about launching The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima next year, maybe even Death Stranding. They also showed Nioh 2, right? We didn't talk about that. All those games, that's between January until November, and a new console.
Yeah,
I don't see releasing. That's too much software, and that between. Let me see. January, it's been 11 months. Too many exclusives, and giving you a new console. Most likely, was going to have a sparse exclusive lineup.
No. That's not true. You got to think about it. Some of these games are going to be cross-platform. So just because it's going to launch on the PS4 and the PS5, don't mean that those are not good. I mean, yes, they're still going to support PS4 just like they do any other consoles for a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So you got your PS5 only titles, and then you got your cross-gen type titles. Look at The Last of Us. That's a last-gen title.
Yeah. Remaster, I understand.
Yeah, that came on. So
So you basically saying what they may do is then because according to Sony and Digital Foundry, The Last of Us 2 was running on PS4 Pro dev kits or whatever the case, right?
Yeah, it was running on PS4.
So
Yeah.
maybe you're trying to say that the PlayStation 5 version would be a native 4K 60 and the Pro or whatever would be upscaled 4K and whatever if we get to 30 frames.
You know what? That's a big possibility. I'm looking for next gen. What I'm looking for out of the next generation console. It's not necessarily. I don't want them to chase the resolution and stuff like that. I want to see a bigger world. I want to see more foliage. I want to see more, gun effects, lighting. I want to see a night and day difference between my PS4 Pro, my PS4 Slim, and my PS5. Okay. I want to be able to know that, hey, this cannot be done anywhere else. Okay. And with the Pro, that was necessarily not the case because the PS4 Slim was just that damn good. Where you can play Spider-Man on the Slim in Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War and not feel like, man, this looks like shit. You see what I'm saying? But I do want my PS5 to make my Pro look like shit.
Okay, how about this right now? I think this is my opinion. I think they kind of both Microsoft, but Sony started the whole resolution thing, 1080p, fine. Then with the Pro, dynamic 4K, then Microsoft true 4K or whatever the case may be. I think that if we're going to talk about a new generation, right? And and again, just like we got how you say the norm of saying used to saying 1080p. We went from this 7th generation, 8th generation, that was norm. And I want to talk with these mid-gen refreshes. We're talking about native 4K. I don't think they can release a next generation console and then not be native 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now again, but Phil did say they're going to focus more on the frame, the next console, which they should. You know what I mean? Yeah. Tech's a little cheaper. You know what I mean? I don't know if, like I said it again, I don't know if developers would take advantage. I don't know if we're going to get a native 4K 60. Maybe they may just give us options in games like 1080p 60 or native 4K 30 or, on cap frame rate. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? But again, 20 is okay. Yeah.
You got to look at it like this, right? We got the X, we got the Pro. The X does more native, or not necessarily native, but higher resolution than the Pro. Yeah. And and a lot of these games are running 4K. There are some games that run native 4K. So native 4K to me is not. It doesn't really. It's not all I'm looking for. Yes, you can get the native, but if you have to give me medium settings,
stop it, y'all.
To guarantee me native things, like I want, I'd rather have some type of trade-off. I am even willing to say, give me checkerboard, but make them frames 60 locked on my shooters and my racers and games that require that. Now, the developers are always going to be able to do whatever they want to do. You, as a company, Microsoft or Sony can't mandate that they make sure every game have 4K. That you can't do that because you're trying to take away, some of the what do you call it, the creative freedom that these developers want. So you don't want to start doing that. But I do think with the increased CPU power and the GPU power, being able to do 4K 60, that should be a thing of the past. But I don't think that they should just solely focus on that. What if we get a Spider-Man that's running in 4K 60, right? Okay. Will we really be able to see that big of a difference? Okay. And is that worth your extra $500?
Okay. Here's the thing.
For that?
Here's the thing, right? We got to be again. I hit myself in the post. I'm coming through somebody. You got me playing in the background? Jay?
No. My stuff is muted.
Hey, it's post. Post.
He's setting up his Pro.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. Can I mute him? I don't think I can mute him. Post.
He's muted. No, he's muted.
Okay, I can't hear myself no more. All right, so anyway, as I was saying, right, at a minimum, here's the thing, at a minimum, we haven't heard some rumors. Next generation is going to be at least 10 T-flops. You can expect the Pro to be at least 9, double what they have now.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say the X, the Scarlet, whatever is going to be twice as powerful, but at least 10 T-flops. You know what I mean? At a minimum. And what we have right now, the engines, I understand things change in the future. We can get a native 4K. That's not the issue. But again, you have, when you go, Again, I've always said this, that it's not the resolution that gives you better graphics, it's the textures, the shaders, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no excuse for us not to be at 4K. Let's just say, quote unquote, lazy developers. And I ain't gonna pull a BlackBerry and put my Alex Jones hat on right now with the conspiracies, right?
Yeah.
But Illuminati, but developers, you know,
you ain't gonna be asinine, huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna be asinine and say that they holding the switch back. But again, which was odd to me, even the start of the generation, the console game was arguing about resolution, right? Yeah. Not graphics, just resolution, right? And 1080p, which is cool. Cool. Shout out to Sony for doing it. It is what it is, right?
It helped them, right? It helped them.
But I'm just being real. If there's not going to be because a lot of people, just like, again, Poster's got his Pro. Yeah. Poster's got his Pro today.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a new generation next year. You know what I mean? Or because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not even hating. I got the X when I got day one.
Yeah, November the 7th.
Okay, whenever the hell it came out, 17th, 7th. I don't feel like I've got all my bang from the buck from the X. I'm just being honest here, right?
Yeah.
You know, yes, it has
I agree with you.
Higher resolution.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Day and day, and again, maybe I'm showing my age here because I'm all about buying new consoles, the new tech, this, that, and the other. Yeah. That shit gotta be head and shoulders above what we already getting. Yeah, I ain't talking about some native 4K. I'm not talking about Digital Foundry with the $12,000 PC, and I gotta look at the comparison.
Facts.
What my 40-year-old eye, I should be able to look at this and say, "Oh damn, yeah, this."
That's what I'm talking about.
This the shit, and that's what I want.
Yep.
If they can give me that, I don't. And I'm gonna be honest with you, frames I understand is more important. You know, what I mean, frames in school, but long as I can look at that with these old eyes and say, "God damn."
Yeah.
And it's something, and to be honest with you, that I haven't, you know what I mean? Like you said, that old shit factor, like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exclusive software is also important. You know, I don't know what I'm and Sony would be a no-brainer to not make the PlayStation 5 backwards compatible. I think that's, you know, both Microsoft and Sony. And Microsoft don't own it, but no console left behind. Long as when I look at that console and I can tell, not talk about, I don't need a side-by-side analysis, that even from compressed videos here on YouTube, that's visually better than anything I've had for the last 6 years in this generation. You know what I mean? Yes. Even with these mid-gen refreshes, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, not to cut you off, but I remember your reaction when you saw Ghost of Tsushima and when you saw them play The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
And you had everybody out there talking about, nah, that can't possibly be on the Pro. That's CGI or that's PS5. You see how that mindset hit? Because they saw those graphics and that gameplay looking so goddamn good that they just knew that could not have been done on a current gen system. That's the kind of effect that you want for the next generation when you see the PS5. You want to be able to say, God damn.
Here's the thing, right? Looking at the Pro. I'm sorry, looking at Ghost of Tsushima and looking at what's the other one? Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
How much further can we go? Realistically, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say this. I remember the first time, I always make this comparison. The first time I seen Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
And my man run up the steps with the chainsaw. And I was like, oh, that was my first really old shit moment for that generation. It was also, we went from standard definition to high definition. That you know, was a huge leap. But that was like my first old shit, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Run up the steps with the chainsaw and got that first kill. Like wow. And I didn't really get that from Sony. I think the first wow moment when I played Metal Gear Solid 4. That was a wow moment. That game was like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Then, and then maybe because cross-gen development, Rise looked good. Don't get me wrong. Rise looked awesome. What's called Infamous Second Son, The Order 1886. But I'm going to be honest with you. That real old shit moment to me, and it's being real, right? It's being a diehard Xbox guy. It's E3 2016 when I seen that God of War. That Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Yeah. That was an old, not even so much of the Uncharted and a little bit of Horizons they were doing. When I saw that goddamn God of War, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, they said, what's that old school Nintendo shit? Now you playing with power. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Realistically speaking, you know what I mean? How much further can we go?
Well, before you answer that, Jack, I just want to interject. Got to pay the bills.
Okay.
Shout out to Von Lamont with the $4.99. Gonna give me a $5 box at KFC real quick. Sony is gearing up for PS5. They're getting rid of all their anti-consumer bullshit, like adding crossplay and trying to fix PS Now. Post, welcome to the stables. Shout out Vaughn, man. He always coming through, man.
Well, that's my man.
All right, go ahead, Jay.
All right. So you're right from that. How much realer can we get? Well, we're still a long way off from photorealism. We have a lot of games that look close and it looks really good, but the end game is photorealism. And even the developers and a lot of the people in the industry still think we're a couple of generations off from that. But you know, when we were looking at The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, we're like, God damn, that looks good. But you got to realize the amount of power that it takes to push out photorealism is, I mean, you're looking at maybe 30 T-flops in order to make that happen, according to the articles that have been out there of this particular question. Now, here's the thing about it, right? A generation is not summed up by its hardware alone. Software. It's about what the developers can do with the talent that they have to squeeze every ounce of energy they possibly can out of that silicone. I mean, in 2013, you would have not been able to tell me that I could play a game like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, and Spider-Man on the PS4. You would not have been able to tell me that. Because at that time, the quality of games we were getting, the development cycle, and some of the stuff like that, it just didn't seem possible.
Well, a lot of that also was because of the cross-gen development. They were still putting games on the 360 and the PS3. You know what I mean? Even though it make it look shinier on the PS4 or the Xbox One, it still has to work around a half a gig of RAM. Regardless, still the same game, just a little bit shinier. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, I give this likeness to like Destiny. Just think about Destiny, how good it could have been. Like, and I'm not even a Destiny guy, but that still was on previous hardware, or even Forza Horizon 2 or Tomb Raider. It was still on fucking 2005 hardware. You know what I mean? And again, last generation was the only generation that I know of that. You know, normally when a new console comes out, that's it for the, like when the Super Nintendo came out, that was it for the NES. So when the Genesis came out, that was it for the Sega Master System. Or when the Xbox 360 came out, that was it for the original Xbox. You know what I mean? But they didn't cut off last generation until about 2016. You know what I mean?
Still think I know you're looking at those titles and you're thinking, wow, it's still a lot more room and a lot more things that they can do. It still features that PC is capable of doing that.
Oh, for sure.
Consoles is not doing.
For sure.
Ray tracing will be the next big step in gaming and lighting and things like that, reflections and things like that. So it will always be room for improvement, because as hardware gets better and as the technology get better, the people who utilize those technologies will also always try to push and get the most out of them. So we're gonna go to next gen. It's gonna be something that bottlenecks those next gen systems. We could just call it now. The graphics is gonna get better and all that, though. But the developers is gonna always try to push the system to use up as much resources as they can, especially with the first gen games. The later gen games of the next gen, that's where you're really gonna see where developers kind of buckle down and start optimizing the system and things like that and really getting the most out of it. It's one thing to have a system that's 12 teraflops, but how much of the 12 teraflops are you getting? Are you using 20, 30, 40, 50% of those 12 teraflops? Or are you using 90 or 100%? What I seen with the PS4, I seen a 1.8 teraflop system and Sony developers using 90 to 95% of that 1.8 teraflops.
Facts.
And that's a big difference. We can talk about all the T-flops, but how much of the teraflops are you using?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and that's what makes a big difference. And that's what I seen with that 1.8. And that's why it's looking like that.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Only one of the companies, only Phil Spencer, he's the one that brought out No Man Left Behind. Sony has never said that.
Yeah.
So that's been Microsoft's mantra. Hopefully they can walk that back. I do hope. Hopefully when next generation come, they can walk back a lot of stuff. I want them to focus on exclusive games again. I want them to let the PC, stop focusing on PC. I want them to let some of the stuff that they've previously said, let some of that stuff go, because you're going to forever be handicapped by the OG Xbox One.
Okay.
Or the S, or you know, in the future the X. You know.
All right. Well, here's again, and this is going back to what we're still talking about. We got a lot of juicy rumors today, right? But we're talking about Sony canceling PlayStation X 2018, right? Again, I'm gonna say this. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hold on one second, please, ladies and gentlemen. Please respect my craft. I'm on air. I would hate to call diapers. Will be everybody ass in the household, right? Check it out, right? Now, so listen, I said this, right? So Sony canceled PSX, right? No, I mean, it's a question, right? Sony has known to been cocky in the past, right? It is what it is. Microsoft's been cocky. Nintendo's damn shore's been cocky. You know, Sony, you know, they're making consoles so powerful the TVs can't, you know, the shit that Sony done said in the past, right?
Yeah.
You see what they said about crossplay. We don't want, it's not safe for the gamer. We know, this over and over, right? A lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this is Sony just looking at the competition across the street and saying, hey, we just can't miss. We ain't got to, you know, we're going to save that money for that show. We ain't got to do no more selling, you know what I mean? And it's them taking off their foot off the gas. And what here's behind the scenes, I've heard some promises things from Microsoft. And listen, here's the thing. You know, when it comes to Microsoft, I've been their biggest fanboy, their biggest supporter. To sometimes he say been their biggest critic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've gotten fights with people I thought were my friends. I've lost friendships over this. Believe it or not, over, you know, just again, wanting things to get better. Literally, I've been, well, you know, I would talk about behind again. I had to get a restraining order on a certain individual, threatened to render me unconscious because I said I would like to see 343 or make something outside of Halo. Literally, they threatened to knock me smooth the fuck out. Right now, yeah. So I don't have a problem for calling them out because I did hear behind the scenes that they are doing some things, in which I am happy for. Like, I mean, and listen, and I've always said, if you're the biggest PlayStation guy, a great game was a great game, and I've always said this. You know, I mean, you can have your preferred, preference. You might choose PlayStation over Xbox. Fine, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the end, we're all gamers, right? And who doesn't want to play a great game? My console, right, doesn't go that deep with me because I'm always on everything. You know what I mean? I want PlayStation. If I buy their console, I want them to have great games because it's always about the games, right? So again, you know, I always try to tell some of my Sony diehard brothers. You want Microsoft to go out there and cheat because again, you don't want a world where it's just Sony and Nintendo doing their own. You know, Nintendo, they're not going. They're doing what the fuck they want to do. You need them to build off each other. You know what I mean? I play one. Listen, one doesn't have to fail for both of them to be successful. You know what I mean? I just want to say that out there, right? So,
you know what, Z? It's crazy how much flack you got about that. And if you look at the ecosystem of Microsoft today, Ninja Theory is working on multiple titles. Rare is working on multiple titles. You have Playground working on multiple titles. All these studios now are working on multiple projects, and these dudes are happy, but these the same dudes who chopped your head off for even suggesting that or suggesting it.
You know, I'm gonna pay the bills right quick. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. I'm looking back at the screen now, so it's a few questions I want to. Floyd Mayweather said Xbox going to hype up JL. They have no exclusive heroes. What the hell is JL? What JL stands for? Justice League. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about Justice League. And my man Chris Rice said PSX was more of a Adam Boyle thing than a Sean Layton at Next Gen and Post Up. Here's the thing, right? This is what I was trying to say, right? And just go back. This is what started the argument with me and D last. If you didn't see last week, BGST, another shameless play. You got to go back and watch. What started the argument, right? And listen, I may have some new subscribers here to my dog shit platform, so I don't want to, like you say, Nick, you're always telling the same story because I do have new people, and some people ask, where did that come from, right? So like, it's not a habit of me repeating myself. I'm just giving some of you, you know, where it comes from, right? I didn't say by chance that a certain guy told me from over the Microsoft side of things that they didn't put themselves $100,000 in debt to make card games going around the track. And again, we hear that Playground Games are working on multiple fucking projects, right? I didn't say that by chance, also, right? But I didn't know what I was talking about, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 fine. So even going to, like I said, with the whole DirectX 12, and that's neither here or there, right? But again, a great game was a great game. And this is what I question with Mike. I'm hearing everybody doing a lot of great things around, you know, behind the scenes. But to me, this is my opinion, for Microsoft to be successful, they have to worry and focus on the Xbox. Instead of trying to become the master of many and trying to please the PC crowd, this crowd, you got again focus on your core. You know what I mean? That put you in the position that you're in. And again, they've totally went away from this. You know what I mean? You know, and that's just my opinion. Maybe that's when I'm not at the head of a Fortune 5 company, but to me, like I said, you know, if your core is happy, you know what I mean? Guys like me that's gonna go out there and they support everything. You know what I mean? Just looking at the titles you had on the 360, 99 Nights, Blue Dragon, you know, Too Human, all types of shit. You know what I mean? Of course, they didn't sell like the Gears or the Halo, but they got you a million or two sales. But then you guys what they bought your console, they will buy other software on your console. Like to me, it's just basic business 101. Everything is not going to be a Halo. Everything's not going to be a Gears. You know what I mean? But you got. I don't like. Give you an example. I really don't care for Forza or Halo. You know what I mean? So I fall somewhere in between it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go out. If I have this platform, I'm going to go out there and buy other pieces of software on your platform. Floyd Mayweather says Sony guys are hyping up Paris Games Week, right? Kratos. Oh, I forgot about Paris Games Week. Is they still having that show?
Yeah, they still having it. They yeah.
That's the win.
So I mean, they just finished with the Tokyo Gaming Show. That's when they showed Project, is it Unknown or Project something? I forgot the name of that. They showed a couple of games there and some VR stuff. And so Sony has, I mean, every year they have like 5-6 different events outside of PSX. Mm-hmm. So that's why I don't think it's not the end all be all. Plus us anticipating PS5 coming next year. I mean, this is the only way I can see them justifying not having a show for their fan base.
Okay. All right, hold on. Show you can hop in if you want to. Show us. Show in the chat. But okay.
Yeah, tell Show you talking about PSX, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna ask you, Paul. I need you back to sit in your
you got Paris Games Week. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Is something as Sony getting cocky and saying, hey, you know, we've been putting out bankers all year, this, that, and the other. We don't need another show, or you know, or again, Sony's just sleeping on their competition. You know what I mean? Like, what is your opinion?
No, I just think they don't have nothing to show.
Yeah, they're not. Listen, they're not getting cocky. All right, and I'm gonna tell you why they're not getting cocky. They just got their head bashed in for crossplay. If they really want to be cocky, they would have just kept on like they were doing, just ignoring it. Well, so I think they said to themselves, we don't want to fall into we don't want to go into next generation with folks bringing old stuff back up on us. We don't want to be a Microsoft 2013 where people are bringing up old stuff. We don't want to be that. So here's your crossplay. You can have that. Okay. Here's your name change. That's coming. Here's this. That's coming.
You can't help it. You can't help it. You just a fuck nigga. You cannot help it. You had to slide that little 2013 shot in there, didn't you? Look, man. Look, this is what it is, man. Sony doesn't have nothing to show. The last titles, we got Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2. You got the Death Stranded. That's it for this gen. I think all the other studios and even the studios that are working on those games, I'm pretty sure they have small groups working on next gen titles right now. I think this is preparation for their next system, and they don't want to. A recap of what happened last year at that boring ass PSX, and that's games that people already seen at this point. They didn't show them so much. People like
what
we just want to play them at this point. So
I can agree with that post.
Yeah, I mean there's only so much. I would have thought we haven't really seen that much of Death Stranded. So I would have thought they had that to show. And with the little of The Last of Us 2, but I guess they don't want to expose too much on those titles. But I think this is just them ramping down on the developer side as far as the PS4 and ramping up in terms of next-gen hardware. And I think both companies are doing that. We already know what's coming out on either side. And I think from Microsoft's standpoint, what I'm hoping at XO18 is to get a kind of a clear picture on the present, but more than importantly, what direction is Phil trying to take us in terms of next gen? That's my expectations. And if we don't get that, then it's going to be a problem.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. All right. I'm asking the chat to permission to treat posts as a hostile witness. Here's the thing, right? And again, I'm all for I've heard some positive things. You know what I mean? About their acquisitions. Again, studios working on multiple titles. And again, I'm this type of parent. I don't believe in giving someone, hey baby, good job, your room is clean. No, your room should be clean. I don't believe in giving out praise for something that they should already be doing. I mean,
talk about it.
Okay, that's just how I am, right? Old school, right? Yeah. Now, also just announced, came out, rumor, whatever, that Microsoft, and again, let me be clear, I don't care about Minecraft, but they got a Minecraft exclusive PC only game, right? Another one, PC exclusive only. So I'm sitting like, yeah, you know what I mean? I bring up the link. I know my integrity. I know that my integrity is always.
I got to question your motherfucking integrity.
It's always in question. You know what I mean? I'll bring it up right. Actually, I get the link right now. But things like that, you know what I mean? Things like that. I'm asking, like, again, what is the end game here? Because again, I shared the tweet on screen right now.
While you doing that, getting that together, I'm gonna pay the bills. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather with the $2. Holly say Sony guys hype in Paris Game Week, white Kratos. And he also said Floyd Mayweather with the $2 again. The Game Awards also will have new announcements.
Okay, the Game Awards. Somebody else. Yeah, the Game Awards also have new announcements. Okay, okay, but here's the thing.
Neo 2 and all that, they got a lot
of what up?
Exclusive and things like that that's coming.
Y'all hear me?
We can hear you in the back.
Was good.
But, okay,
y'all can hear me in the back?
Yeah, it says here, announcing Minecraft Dungeons and all-new action-adventure game inspired by the classic dungeon crawlers and set in the Minecraft universe coming to PC in 2019. Learn more and watch the full reveal trailer here. Now, again.
All right, hey, before we get started.
We've been started.
Post up. Stop.
What's up? Come on with it, fuck nigga. I'm ready.
Post up. Listen here, motherfucker. Cut your bot shit. All right? Cut it the fuck out. You're done.
Nigga, I'm holding the line.
Nigga, no, you a Mustang now. Right? You a Mustang. There's nothing to hold. Fuck is you holding? It ain't my game. You should
talk about it.
That's Spider-Man.
Yo, that Spider-Man is starting right now, low key.
Hey, he got his Spider-Man and his God of War. Tell him, P-Rock, it's over.
Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up? If you said what's up to me, I'm looking at the screen now. I'm gonna say this again. It's not that I'm intentionally ignoring anyone. I'll be looking at other screens. If they make me look straight, I don't have the chat here. You know what I mean? But I'm sorry. But so again, this is what I question. You know, I don't care about Minecraft. I'm not a Minecraft guy. But you got a coming exclusive to PC in 2019. You know how I had the mental meltdown over Age of Empire. The Gears Tactic. Again. I don't have a problem with Microsoft making only PC games. But the Xbox side of things, they're going to have to cater to their core. They're going to have to be, taking susceptible and again in the console space thing. You know what I mean? It's hard to say because they are making money doing what they're doing, and it's all about a bill. But it's me, if they're going to be back to be that true force that they once was, like with the 360, they're going to have to cater to their core.
Yeah. On this topic, so I'm gonna say shout out to Kiss Move because he sent the email. He sent the Twitter to Aaron Greenberg and Phil. So now Kiss Move have a problem with this. Because he's like, wait a minute. So this is a PC exclusive and it's not coming to Xbox? He wants some clarification. I made this point when E3 came out, right? And they announced Gears Tactics for PC. I'm like, hold the fuck up. Microsoft, you're selling a dedicated console. I get it. The whole Windows fam, Windows 10. All right, I got it. We have to move beyond that. But if you're going to put your games on everything, then everything includes Xbox. I don't get making games exclusive to PC. Now, at first, people thought I was damage controlling because, Ages of Empire and Gears Tactics are PC-type titles. But I'm thinking, hold up. If you accept that, at what point do you tell Microsoft enough is enough? If you let them get away with Ages of Empire, if you let them get away with Gears Tactics, when do you say enough? Well, right now, Minecraft was enough for Kid Smooth. That was his boiling point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me
Pay the bills right quick. Hold on, pay the bills right quick.
Let me interject. I want to pay the bill. Shout out to Overdone. He said
and Jabari.
Microsoft even owns Minecraft, yet no port to Xbox. And Jabari, old fuck nigga ass with the $5 holler. Shout out to Jabari. Still a fuck nigga though. Appreciate the $5 holler. Shout out to my man Z. This man came a long way and fuck Xbox $1,000.
That's $1,000.
That's $1,000.
G. I don't know. $1,000.
Okay, let me just interject here. Because I think we're jumping the gun. I mean, I really don't give two fucks about Minecraft because I don't play it. I never played it. I do think it's going to come to all systems because it's a game. Yeah, it's going to come to all that what they announced today is going to come to the X. Okay. It's going to come to the Nintendo, the Switch. Okay. It's going to come to the PS4 and all the other devices because that's what type of title it is.
Can I ask you one question though?
Okay.
I see where you're going with this, right? And that's the same thing. I don't care. I don't care about the Gears Tactics. I don't care about the Age of Empire. But when do we draw the line?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. The Age of Empire, Gears Tactics. I do think they will too come to the X or the next gen. They just announced keyboard and mouse.
Hear me out.
I'm telling you, y'all jumping in.
Hold on. Let me ask.
Those titles will hit console.
Let me ask. Let me ask.
Those titles will hit the box.
Here's my question, right?
Hit the like button.
If Microsoft is touting play on any device, do you think you should be in the position where you assume these games coming to Xbox?
Now, Porter Rock. Before
you should know.
Hold on, Porter Rock. This not an L type of day right now.
I'm not
saying that I agree.
As an Xbox gamer,
no, I'm not saying what
Xbox owner.
I'm not saying that I agree with how they went about it.
I think it should.
No, I don't agree how they went about it. If you're going to promote this mantra that play anywhere, then that motherfucker title should have been announced anywhere, just like all the other titles. I do not agree with how they do this. And this kind of, and the fan base have every right to be pissed at this, even if it's a title that you don't play. You can't say play anywhere with Xbox titles, and then when it comes to the PC shit, don't show us no love.
Yeah,
I'm not condoning that.
No, this is.
I just got a pro today. I'm not condoning it.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly at this point, whatever Microsoft announced, it's on everything. Like it's just there. Like the question of, is this a PC or Xbox title? No, it's Microsoft making it. It's on everything. The only question that should be left is how many more platforms is Microsoft looking at?
No.
Are they looking at Mac? You know what I'm saying? Are they looking at
Minecraft? Is spread it across?
Are they looking at Nintendo?
So I don't even look at that as exclusive. That's just a $1 billion franchise that's just spread across everything.
And here's the thing, right? This is what I'm saying, right? I'm gonna take it one step further, right? And I understand that console guys don't care about those games, but what I'm saying is that console guys share their exclusives or whatever, few day and date with PC. Day and date. It's not that it's gonna come to the PC later. Day and date, that shit is there, right? Fact, you know what I mean? So. And contrary to what Phil said, that there will be some exclusives on the Xbox. We have yet to see that in the last 3 years. We have yet to see that, right? And there will be, but we have seen exclusives on the PC. And I'm not saying that again that I want those games on my platform. My thing is, where do we draw the line? As Xbox fans, right? We share our exclusive day and date, but PC guys still get to keep their shit. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That right there makes no sense to me. Shout out to the Ruham.
I'm gonna take it even a step further.
He said, "What in the hell have I walked in and on? What's good, guys?
You walked in the Puerto Rock show."
Yeah. Well, you understand what I'm saying, P. Rock?
I'm gonna take it a step further. People don't. It's that Microsoft is selling gamers a dedicated device. It's their device, right? It's a console. They're making it, and they have no problem selling it for $500. But then they're gonna turn around and have studios that make. And I'm not talking about. I can understand if Microsoft invested in phones and they have these phone studios. Okay, I get that. These small little studios making tiny $2, $5 phones. No one's gonna have a problem with phones having their own games. Got that. That's different. We're talking big budget studios making big AAA games for a platform that they can easily put it on Xbox. And let's say if you don't even care about these games, right? But as a console gamer, you should be like, why is Microsoft having big budget studios making PC games when you are selling us, and us meaning, Xbox fans, a dedicated device for $500?
Exactly.
And yet your manpower is being allocated exclusively to PC, and they don't even give a fuck about your platform. When you look at the sales of these Microsoft published games, Forza, Gears, they're going to sell more on Xbox. And then on top of that is the Xbox gamers that pay an annual fee for Xbox Live Gold. PCs gamers ain't even doing that. Yeah. Most of the money is coming from the console gamers. They should be the number one priority. Any game, any AAA game Microsoft thinks of making, at a minimum, is on everything. But if it's going to be exclusive to any platform, then it's going to be exclusive to the one bringing in the most revenue.
You know Xbox. What, Quarter Rock? Everything you just said was 100% proof, nigga. That's truth. That's truth. You cannot deny that, because we're basically funding PC development games.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. People be like, well, everybody has a Windows OS. Yes, to do spreadsheets. The whole world is not a PC gaming thing. Most of the world is doing spreadsheets and, bullshit, actual, government contracts and work and PowerPoints and all this shit. Motherfuckers ain't all PC gamers. Motherfuckers act like there's 5 billion PC gamers in the world. They're not. Most of us have fucking $200 Dells. You know what I'm saying? That could barely run YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft's arm in gaming is from the Xbox gamer. The subscriptions, the Game Pass, the game sales. Because Windows 10 stores ain't it. Motherfuckers ain't buying third-party multiplats at the Windows 10 store. Steam is making all that money. CD Keys is making all that money. Hell, even EA Origins, they're making all that money. Windows stores is not making huge amount of money off of third-party sales or whatever. Because, the day Red Dead drops, on PC, whenever that happens, they're not going to the Win 10 store to get Red Dead. They're going to go to Steam. And just because, this is the thing, like dudes like K-Mega, but the OS. Microsoft does not make money in gaming off the OS. It's an open platform. I can make a game right now, Xbox layer. Put that shit on Steam. Microsoft doesn't see a dime unless I use shit like Havoc or Simply Gone. Yep. But other than that, they don't see a dime unless I put it on the Win 10 store, but no one wants to buy third-party games from the Win 10 store. Hell, it got to the point they don't even want to buy Gears on the Win 10 store. They telling people, put Gears on Steam. We don't want to buy it on this shitty-ass store. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of things going on with
Microsoft, yeah. So if you're going to make a game,
you loud, man.
Minimum on every platform. But if it's going to be exclusive, then the number one privileged platform is Xbox. Yeah. They're the ones that rate exclusivity. Whether it's timed or permanent, Xbox get the exclusivity rights, then PC. But not the other way around. No Xbox gamer should be ever wondering from Microsoft whether a Microsoft published AAA game is going to come to Xbox or not. That ain't fair to y'all. None of you should be put in that position. You should already know, yep, this is our shit. It should be PC gamers wondering, well, damn, Phil, is this going to come to PC? They should be the ones in that position. Now, you guys already proved you ride or die with that company.
Yeah, yo, preach.
You know what I'm saying? You have to, you got, fucking Zaire's the crispest addicts of this shit. He was the first black man who got shot in the American Revolutionary War. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the white man's like, we ain't drinking your tea. It's the black man that gets shot. Motherfuckers like, I don't even drink tea. Yeah. What I'm getting shot for?
Hey, yo, hold up. Shout out to Gotti Games. He said, I just woke up from a weed coat. What I miss? We trying to listen. We trying to indoctrinize Poster with the religion to make him accept Christ as his personal savior. Now, with that being said, right now again, Poster. I'm not Poster. Porter, I haven't talked with you in person in years. I'm gonna get your opinion before I want to talk about this Justice League game. Quick opinion. Sony pulled out a PSX, right?
Yeah.
Is it Sony getting cocky? Care about the competition, or did they shoot their load? They don't have anything else to show.
They got no news. You remember last PSX? That shit was dog shit.
Okay, what
remember that one? That shit was dog. Yo, J-Do's mad at me. He's like, Puerto Rock, you not there. Motherfucker, I ain't sipping wine with Yoshida. I'm here. I was in North Carolina on my fucking Zenith TV, and I was watching dog shit. I'm like, what the fuck are we looking at? Like,
but
I was clowning.
But I mean,
they don't have shit to show.
They got this. Well, I know Capcom is doing an exclusive Street Fighter for them.
But they don't give a fuck about. Let's be honest. If you're gonna like, listen, bro. Let's be real. If you're gonna do a dedicated show, no one wants to see a fucking Sea of Thieves controller.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't right. Like, if you ain't got like, you know, the PSX that was like big was like, remember 2016?
Yeah.
Remember 2016? They showed The Last of Us. Motherfucker showed, you know, that was the shit that made Wolf go fucking LeBron James. That mom, you know, when I Wolf saw that shit, he's like, yo, I'm done. You know, fuck that. You know,
that's when he jumped shit.
That's the type of show you need that makes motherfucker change their religion. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need a show just to fucking talk about a multi-plat. Like, oh, look, we got DMC 5. Like,
but Puerto Rock, you got to think of it this way, right? Microsoft spent the last 2 years twiddling their thumbs, doing nothing. Now, this year, they decide to spend some money and say we're going to invest in some studios and some games, and now they're trying to get that faith back from their fans. So,
that's good.
What?
Wait,
hold on. See, Jay, this is what I be telling you about how you.
Hey, post up that contract, dog.
Man, that shit here now. Fuck the contract right now. I'm gonna get on my fuck nigga shit.
Hey, I'm
I still got love. I still got love for him.
Hey, hold on.
We're gonna go Sean Lane and we're gonna hit that switch. Post ups on PSN is gonna go down.
Hey, yo, hold
up. Oh man, that nigga know I still got love for him.
Hey, hold up.
Go ahead,
Jamal King. He said this chat needs to be sent to Phil. Puerto Rock's facts. Okay, now what do you gonna say? Are you disagreeing with Puerto Rock is saying?
Who?
You post up. You see, you want to come in, you gonna do your functions. Like,
no.
I
was
we put that threat. His PSN about to go down.
What are you saying?
No. Look, man. Look, man. You know, Jay is just a fuck nigga. Y'all gotta watch how this nigga be word shit, man. He be taking good news and shit.
No, Xbox, what they're doing. No. It's good. No, but it's in a way, you know, on a not jokingly manner, that's exactly what Microsoft's trying to do. They're trying to restore faith. Yeah. You know, but you have to start somewhere to restore faith. You know, it's just not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna be today, you suck, tomorrow, oh shit, Microsoft got 10 AAA exclusives. It doesn't work that way. You have to build to where you have to get back to. Sony did the same thing with the PS3. PS3 was a fucking bad era. They had to restore faith little by little. Mm-hmm. Microsoft's doing the same thing. This XO show is a good way to restore faith. They're going to have their own show. Hopefully, they have good announcements. You understand what I'm saying? Little by little. They got new studios. It's going to take time. But when the games come out, hopefully, Microsoft could get back and reset themselves. Okay. Just like Sony reset themselves.
Okay.
Everybody had to hit the reset button.
Okay.
Sony hit
Nintendo hit it. Sony hit it. No, here's a question, all right? Now, again, we can go into these rumors now. It's coming up. I say not ran his ugly head again. What they talking about? I'm actually let me go on my screen. Here it says here rumor Rocksteady's Justice League is coming in 2019. Recently, job hirings. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you. Recently, job hirings have shed some light on when Rocksteady plans to announce their next big AAA title alongside an industry insider letting slip that they contingent upon some milestone. Rockstone could announce their game in early 2019. A 4chan post goes to talking about the systems that is coming on Xbox SCARLETT, PlayStation 5, and PC. 2019.
I'm gonna tell you one thing. If the game comes out next year, it's not going to be exclusive to those platforms. It's going to be a cross-gen title.
But the question is, I understand. But here's the question, right?
It's going to come out to PS4, Xbox One. Yeah, it's going to come out. It's a cross-gen.
Question, though.
Guaranteed.
Is it too? Do you feel like it's too soon or too early to be talking about next generation? Because we have yet to get The Last of Us 2. We have yet to get.
Here's the thing. So when we think of next generation, we can't just think of one company. This is the truth. I'm being real here, right?
All right.
For PlayStation, it seems like it's too soon because, you know, we got Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, The Last of Us, Death Stranding, right? And then you saw TGS, you know, there was a couple of games. You know, we have Lost Solo Side. You know, we have a whole bunch of shit, right? Mm-hmm. But on Microsoft side, They're about to create, big titles, because they got the new studios.
Okay.
But those games are for next gen. Let's be honest. They're not going to be ready next year or 2020. You know what I'm saying? So Microsoft is going to push forward next gen. Like it or not, they're going to go next gen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sony can't lag behind 2-3 years behind Microsoft. They have to stay within that same next gen window. So if Microsoft's willing to push the button and be like, yo, we're going to go ahead with next gen in 2019, 2020, Sony's going to be right next to them. They're going to be at worst case scenario a year after. Worst case scenario, if Microsoft decides to push the button in 2019, Sony's going to be there 2020.
This is the question.
But they're not going. But Sony's not going to do 2022. Microsoft
no.
That's just reality.
No, this is not what I'm saying. Let me word it, okay? Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. Someone as opposed, like again, who just got their Pro today, right? Or to even again someone like such as myself got the X last year. I'm just as a consumer, I don't feel like, you know what I mean, especially with the X, you know what I mean, I did get the most bang for my buck, right? And again, with those titles, we've seen how good the Last of Us 2 look. We've seen how good the Ghost of Tsushima look. Yeah. Do you think the PlayStation 5 or whatever the Scarlett will be that much more for, you know what I mean, in terms of what we're seeing? Because, I'm going to be honest with you, when I go out and buy a new console, I'm the whale. And I gotta have it day one. Fuck that. It's my money. I need it now. Like when I get the income tax check, it's my money and I want it now. You remember the commercial? Go get the $100 loan or whatever the case may be. Do you think that visually, you know what I mean, that they will be? I should say,
I'm gonna say this. I know what you're doing. Are you gonna see a significant jump? Yeah. Are you gonna see like a true next generation? I'm gonna say this.
Get my $500. At least $1,000. $5 from Microsoft. $5 from Sony.
This is just my opinion on mid-gen refresh. Okay. So let's look at it this way. All right. We went from PS2, Xbox One to 360 and PS3, right?
Big jump.
But nobody was prepared for the HD jump. Hell, people were still playing.
Yeah. Big jump.
The Xbox on their regular TV. That nobody had anything. Like nobody was prepared for the HD jump. You even have Microsoft selling the VGA cable, so at least people could use their monitors. Mm-hmm. So at least they could have some form of high definition game, right? Yeah. In my opinion, and this is just me, I think they did this mid-gen refresh just to get the spark started on 4K. I think to me, the true 4K consoles where we're gonna get consistent native 4K gaming is with these consoles. I don't think these consoles are going to be. You're looking for a next generation jump. What I'm seeing, or this is just my opinion, I think these consoles are going to be the consistency you guys wanted from the Xbox One X. What you wanted from the One X, you're going to get with these consoles. Native 4K, more games running at 60 frames, consistent graphic 4K gaming. I think these mid-gen refreshes was just to get the spark started so people could go out there and buy their 4K TVs and be like, oh, 4K, get the conversation started. So that way when these new consoles come out, they're not starting 4K gaming. They're knee-deep in 4K gaming that Xbox One X and Pro started. Does that make sense? Pretty much they didn't want the PS5 and the Scarlett to be in a position 360 and PS3 was, where you got these consoles, but nobody was really into HD gaming yet. They don't want these consoles to be building the foundation. They want that foundation already set in. That's just my opinion. You understand what I'm saying? Because like the fact that these consoles are, because like you said, some people are just getting the Pro now. Imagine if the PS5 came out. Imagine like right now, fucking post up, and then all of a sudden Sony announces fucking the PS5 in April. Post up be like, man, these fuck niggas. I only had this shit for 6 months. The fuck is going on and shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like mad quick. I think Sony and Microsoft, they just wanted to ignite the 4K fire. So that everybody will get their TVs, everybody got their 4K and be like, yeah, 4K, 4K, 4K. And now PS5 and Scarlett, they're in an environment of 4K.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Listen, trust me, I'm with you. I want to say this, and a lot of people, I forgot one guy I was going back and forth with, even about the X, right? I'm just, me, again, stepping out of the box, right? That the X and the Pro weren't meant to move the generation forward. They just meant to run what you already have better. You know what I mean? So if you want to compare, like I said, to next generation, what I think about next generation or games that can't run on previous hardware. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or something, again, that's I'll give you an example, right? Sony in 2013, I believe it was February. They had a 30-minute show. We saw the infamous Second Son. They showed something, I forgot the other little games, Knack or whatever. So a little, and again, and this visually looking at that, I know that couldn't be done on previous hardware, and I was fine with that. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is this though. We look at the Ghost of Tsushima. You look at The Last of Us 2. I would say, in my opinion, right? I think probably maybe I'll give The Last of Us 2, right? Nothing gets, I don't think they have what you call the vertical splice and things are dolled up for E3. I understand how the business work, but I think if we can, a technical marvel from what we've seen this generation, I would give it to The Last of Us 2 and what these consoles can do from Microsoft, Sony. Like, damn, that's like a technical marvel. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's really an old shit moment, right? I'm just saying, it's hard for me to see that. And don't get me wrong, I know that at a minimum, both the PS4 and the Xbox will be at least 9 to 10 T flops. You know what I mean? The X is already 6. You're gonna probably go from 6 to 10, and the PS5 will be at least at a minimum double what you already have in the Pro. You know what I mean? So with a beefier CPU, right? At least double what we have in a closed inside a console. Again, that's still a lot of mustard on a hot dog. You can't keep up with the latest cards that are out, but we're talking about in a console, a closed environment where developers can code closer to the metal, develop closer to the metal. They know what's in every goddamn system. They, what I mean? It's not the same thing as far as on the PC side of things, right? I just saying, like, what I mean? Don't get me wrong. At what point do we hit this wall? You know what I mean? It's like, because I ain't gonna lie though. And again, and shout out to Sony and Naughty Dog, what they were able to achieve. Looking at The Last of Us 2, because to me, I've really got that old shit moment. A lot of you guys remember with E3 2016, and I know I'm a huge God of War fan, but I was like, oh shit, and you know what I mean? Like, god damn, dog. I knew I was hell of a father. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you, the wall. Here's the future of console graphics. Just simply look at what movie CGI is doing today.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. Look at what you see in the movie theater. 10 years from now, consoles gonna do that. Because if you guys remember, you remember the movie Final Fantasy, Spirit Within?
Yeah.
Y'all remember seeing that? So this was like 1998, 99 when they made that movie. That CGI movie graphics was fucking dope.
Now,
That shit looked dope. Look at this shit now and compare that shit to fucking Uncharted. Uncharted smokes the fuck out of that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the movies of today is eventually going to be the games of tomorrow. So that's when you'll know you'll hit a wall. But true. As long as you see a CGI movie from Hollywood, granted, they're doing it today because they're $1 million, $100,000 six-figure systems. But eventually, even if it's 10 years from now, consoles will get there eventually. You know what I'm saying? Technology will be cheaper and produce that. Again, go look at Final Fantasy Spirit Within now. That shit, most of our games look better than fucking that movie. You know what I'm saying? We surpassed those graphics. We surpassed Toy Story graphics.
Yeah.
We surpassed all those cinemas. You know what I'm saying?
Look at
now, but look at Ready Player One right now.
Yeah.
That's going to be gaming graphics eventually.
Right.
Our console games will one day look like Ready Player One. One day.
Okay.
It's going to get to that point.
All right.
It's just a matter of time.
All right, question.
That's all it is.
The panel. Are you guys cool with this generation starting in 2019? You're fine.
Yes.
It depends on the audience.
Yes, I am.
Well, motherfucker, man, shit. This, this true what Chappelle should have never gave us money, bro. Dave Chappelle was right, bro. Should have never gave us motherfuckers money.
Hey, Porter Rock, you just got your your PS. When did you get your PS4?
2015.
2015.
God damn, Rock, what you doing for 2 years?
So, and think about
this motherfucker put the
what were y'all motherfuckers doing for 2 years? These motherfuckers, I'm watching Zaya's podcast. Oh, Xbox the best. I'm like, $500 for Rise?
Hey, yo, hold up.
This motherfucker's coked up. I knew you want some syrup drugs back then. Before you even admitted it. I'm like, this motherfucker's on that methadone.
I'm just saying.
Like, be honest, $400 for a fucking Killzone.
Really? I'm just saying. But what about the multiplayer? Well, most multiplayers were
man, don't give me that shit. You know what I mean? We were playing Madden, motherfuckers. I was still playing Madden. I was still playing the same. Destiny. All that shit was the same. Man. The first 2 years, I was disappointed in console gaming. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be the weakest fucking generation gaming I have ever witnessed. Because even as bad as PS3 was, you still had shit like Heavenly Sword. You have Resistance. Even I don't even like racing games, and you have MotorStorm. On Xbox, you had Condemned. You know what I'm saying? You had Cameo. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers had Killzone and Rise and Dead Rising 3. I'm like, yo, this shit is, these motherfuckers arguing who had the better exclusives, and this shit is trash. I'm like, yo, this is going to be the worst generation gaming ever.
Okay.
I was like, God damn,
listen,
these games suck.
You know what? It's crazy. It's funny that you said it because, again, I was lacking. I'm sorry, not lacking. I was also voicing my concerns. And my thing was because of the cross-gen development. You know what I mean? And it was the same games on both platforms. Just one was slightly more shinier. And I was looking at it from could you imagine how big of the world or two it could have been if it still wasn't made to fit around a half a gig of RAM? You know what I mean? Or Forza Horizon. I understand a different team may do it, but it's the same goddamn game.
Like Call of Duty was still on PS3 and 360.
You know what
That's yo, even like the few games that could have been at the start, like let's say like Forza Horizon 2, right? That could have been huge for Xbox One, but that shit was on the 360.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, yo, these guys literally are giving. Even Titanfall was on fucking 360.
Yeah.
Like these dudes are wilding. I'm like next gen. Like at the start, I didn't get my console until I saw Bloodborne. I was like, okay, finally something. Yeah. I'm like, because the shit before it was like that. It was as if they were giving no incentive other than saying you had new hardware. But in reality, what were you doing with the new hardware? You know, Xbox gamers were talking about, oh, I could fucking, Skype my friend. Like, what? And then PlayStation dudes, I got the better version of Madden. I'm like, what? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no.
Well, I'm gonna listen.
This shit's embarrassing.
That was this generation. Next generation, when you look at the games that may be cross-gen, you look at Ghost of Tsushima, you look at Death Stranding, The Last of Us 2, that Project is it Unknown or Project something, I can't remember, but those games are most likely they're going to be on the PS5 as well as the PS4. So
I agree.
Do you think that, I mean, looking at those games and the graphics of those, do you think those are going to hold the PS5 back? Will we be seeing all this Last of Us 2 looks good, but it's really holding back the PS5?
I will say this. A lot of the people who bought the Pro probably won't jump on the PS5 that fast. Only like you obviously do it. You know, Jay Barry and stuff like that. You know my cheap ass ain't doing it. Yeah. But it's hard because you need exclusives, because it's like this. If you buy another console, right? If you buy a PS5 and it's the same games you have on your Pro, then is it really a PS5 or did you buy a PS4 Pro? Like, think about it. What did you really buy? What did you actually get? Yeah. You have to have a unique game. That's how it is. It has to be a unique game. Sony's going to have to bite the bullet and release something, one or two titles, right? That's highly impactful, but you can't get on the PS4 or PS4 Pro. Because if every game on the PS5 at launch or for the first 2 years is the same games on the PS4 Pro, then what are you buying? And we can't come out there and be like, but the UI is better. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that we ain't doing that.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Games are you playing that you can't play on your Pro?
Listen,
it has to be games. It always has to be about games. And Sony has to bite the bullet. Sony's gonna have to release something on that platform and not put it on PS4 despite the fair. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn 2, maybe Order 1887. Something though. Something has to be unique and separate from the PS4 and PS4 Pro family. Something that says if you don't get a PS5, you ain't playing this.
Yeah. I totally agree with you 1,000%. Now here's the thing. They killed off Uncharted, and they're working on whatever successor game they're going to have for that one. Yeah. That could potentially be the launch. I do agree. There needs to be a balance.
Just put on a back burner to give it some breathing room. I think it's going to come back.
Yeah. Point, right? No, they killed it off. They said Nathan Drake is done. They're working on a new game. They're working on
salute them for that shit.
Yeah, no, that's not saying next.
That's a smart move.
I salute them for that because you rarely have that in this day and age. People try to make franchises that be lasting 50 years.
Like Mario could get away with it.
Hey, bro, let me tell you something.
Uncharted can't. You can't have PlayStation 9 and Drake.
Hey, listen, you gonna have a grandfather, you gonna have a son. They got that. It's gonna be Drake's daughter for them, whoever. Maybe it's gonna be they can't just because again we talking about you don't have I don't know if Uncharted.
Yeah, he did say Drake was dead. Maybe they have.
I'm saying I don't know if Uncharted crossed the $1 billion like the threshold or whatever. But maybe someone else may pick up in the thing, and I'll give you an example. The way they set up God of War, right? You have the son, I forgot his name,
Atreus,
who's an integral part of the story, and Kratos is getting old, and pretty soon.
How do you know?
Yeah, how do you know there's consequences behind killing a god? You know what I mean? Maybe not the next God of War, maybe the last. This is going to be it for Kratos. Is going to fight, die. Maybe Atreus may kill him, and then he's going to be the successor. You know what I mean? The way they're setting up, but you always going to have a God of War as a successor.
Here's the thing. I think God of War is a little bit easier because even with with the new God of War with with the Norse mythology, you have the fans already inputting ideas of imagine Egypt, imagine Africa, imagine when Uncharted, there's really nothing. There's nothing you can do.
That's the problem.
Unless you're gonna send them into outer space.
No. It don't have to be Mars. Think about how many drunk one night stands he didn't had in the bank in China. So goddamn where. They brought his brother out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And I gotta go back and finish Uncharted 4.
From Puerto Rico and shit.
I gotta finish Uncharted 4. But I'm just saying they got something again. It may not be Nathan Drake himself. But other characters, man, but
that ain't gonna work though.
Listen, this is why they gave you the Lost Legacy because they wanted to make sure that this stuff was done.
I
gotta get the Lost.
I think Uncharted is done. But God of War is different because motherfuckers, there's dudes that want Christianity and shit, so you can fight Jesus. I'm like, man, these dudes are ruthless, bro. Like, that's bad. Like, you guys are terrible.
I'll be all about that. I will be all about that. I get to fight Jesus.
Like, you fighting Jesus. Jesus will fuck you up.
You've been for 400 years. My people have called on your name.
Jesus come in and be like, listen, bro.
I was drunk.
Don't make me fuck you up. Don't do this. I can make 1 or 2 wine. Stop it. You better get your ass back to China and fight them dragons.
Hey, well, again, like I said, I want to get your opinions on this, right? Okay. I haven't talked to you in so long. You've been on the road, right? And I got a lot of flack for this. I think I brought it up last week. Something I said again. If Spider-Man, I still got to go back and complete that too. Trust me, I'm gonna get back to the game. I've had so much shit going on in the back scenes. I might be adopting my grandson. A lot of shit going on back here, right? With that being said, right?
It's all that greatness, bro.
Yeah. With that being said, though, right? I said that again, just for me sampling the game because I got to play it a little bit a week before it came out. You from the hood. The mom and pop store sell it as soon as they get it, right? And my son and my nephew had it, right? So I got to play around. I said, from what I've seen this far, if you're gonna say the Arkham series or whatever, set the standard or the bar of what we should expect from a superhero game. Now I'm looking at it from I'm not a DC fan nor am I a Marvel fan. You know what I mean? So I don't look at it like that. And I ain't gonna lie. Spider-Man makes the Arkham series seems very dated, very stale. Just looking at the combat, it's all stale. It is.
Well, you said it looked like Streets of Rage.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I got a big. Listen.
Next I was like, this shit look like Streets of Rage now.
Bro,
look at this.
I lost 7 subscribers. I lost 7 subscribers behind that shit right now.
Yo, for real, no, because we talked about that on Digital Streets, right?
Oh,
I was saying, I think it's good. And next gen's like, are you sure? Let me show you this video.
Yeah.
When you showed me Batman, I looked at it like, what the fuck? I don't remember ever being that slow.
Oh, okay, but
that was a hell of a job,
it's a good thing though. But here's the thing: we're gonna see what Rocksteady did with the Arkham series was something that that I can recall that really having a AAA goddamn superhero game. Right now, boom, we have Spider-Man who's taking it to the next level. Now, rumor has it that Rocksteady's back up coming in 2019. You know what I mean? With this, maybe a Justice League game. Do you think they can, I'm not again subjective, do you think that the pressure's on them to be able to surpass, I'm not even talking about critical sales and stuff, you know what I mean? Just because, it's a multiplayer, it's going to be a multiple platform.
That's the gameplay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Of what Insomniac was able to do with Spider-Man. Do you think they're feeling the pressure?
I I think they do, especially now how they saw the reaction of Spider-Man, and that's a good thing because it's competition.
That's what
because
I'm saying.
people are going to compare it. You know what I'm saying? So each developer.
Listen, I got shit for
it's no different. Is it any different than GT? Like people now expect. I know this is going to piss off Kratos, but people expect more out of GT now because of Forza and vice versa. That's what they do. Games within this genre, they compete against each other. They try to one-up each other. They try to bring new things to the table. Like when Forza first brought out vehicle damage, and how it affects the racing, people expected that from GT now. They're like, we don't want bumper cars now. We want damage, So they feed off each other. So now, Rocksteady has to feed off of Insomniac. They have to see, oh shit, this is what they did. And I'm pretty sure, because developers, they share shit among themselves, They don't try to keep shit secret. So I'm pretty sure Rocksteady has some ideas of what Insomniac already had planned.
Okay, look,
and they're gonna advance themselves. And then, and if Arkham, and if Rocksteady with Justice League one-ups Insomniac, then it's on Insomniac with Spider-Man 2. And then not only them two, but remember, Square Enix is doing Avengers.
Okay, here's the thing.
So they in this fight too.
All right, I got some juicy information. It says type single player / co-op. You can switch between characters like in Arkham Knight. The campaign can be played both ways, but there's also a different game mode catered to multiplayer. Also, it has, I don't know, GAAS.
Yeah, games as a service.
Games as a service. So expect it turns. Okay, look at you.
Yeah. So they're gonna make DLC.
Yeah, DLC content. They're gonna have something similar to Hitman with episodic DLC. Characters: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash. Pretty sure it was
Flash.
Pretty sure it was
and Aquaman.
Latin Hall, Cyborg, Aquaman. The city is Metropolis, Gotham, Keystone. Why I said probably Wally. More others through DLC. Each city is a bit bigger than a Arkham Knight, and just these details. Villains main big as Starro. I don't know who the hell that is. As the episodic stuff roll out, seeing Brainiac and even Darkseid. Story: all the heroes are pretty early on in their careers. Batman still considered an urban legend to anyone outside of Gotham. Superman isn't the world protected yet, and I don't know who's WW in WW. Who knows what WW stand for?
Wonder Woman.
There you go. Aquaman's still in the CG League. You know what I mean? But anyway, it sounds promising for what we read and just given their track record, what they were able to achieve with the Arkham series, and also too that was an old engine or old hardware, and it's like I understand you had the Arkham Knight, but still, like if you look at this, looks very dated. We're talking about again PlayStation 5, the Xbox Scarlett, and PC. So I'm excited to see, like the pressure, and can they take it to the next level? You know what I mean? They're gonna have to change that engine as far as the combat, because I showed you, it looks very dated and not as fluid as compared to Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It felt smooth back then, but I said, now look at this shit compared to that. Like,
well, that's perfectly fine. It's not saying the game was bad. It's just
I got a lot of shit behind that.
2015.
I got into a lot of shit behind that. But people take things so fucking personally. I'm just saying, and it's a good thing. You know what I mean? They had the crown, and he said, pressure. Either bust a pipe or it can create a goddamn diamond. A coal can make a goddamn diamond. And I think that, whatever, they can rise to a case. It was rumored they was working on a Superman game. But the Superman game turned out to be an Injustice game for next generation consoles. You know what I mean? That we're not going to get this maybe 2019, 2020. Are you
Sounds
excited?
ambitious. It sounds ambitious.
Yeah, you know what I mean? What was the last game that came out? 2015?
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
The only thing that gave me pause is when I saw that games as a service. I'm like, that gave me the
but that's where everybody going, man, including your Sony. I'm telling you, they will all have some form of game as a service going on. The industry as a whole. Okay. I mean, I know a lot of people are against it, but
you keep saying that.
It's inevitable.
You keep saying that the games that Sony keep dropping are not games as a service games. They're
that's
the big blockbuster AAA games that people are asking for.
That's now. Watch how things switch and change.
Here's the thing, right? And real talk, right? Even like far as and bro, you look at a game like Uncharted or a game like The Last of Us multiplayer. More or less games with a service. You do have this strong single player aspect of the story. Well, even you say they added on like the DLC, the extra chapters that you can buy. Or whatever. Yeah. I was looking at Tomb Raider. You can buy this, that, and the other, or buy a different outfit. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem with it as long as it doesn't restrict my gameplay. I have to pay to win. You know what I mean? That's what I have an issue with. You know what I mean? If you're gonna like when I finally got the chance to play Star Wars Battlefront, I didn't play it the first day, and everybody bought Boba Fett, and he flying around just shooting me with one shot. I'm like, God damn, you know what I mean? I can grind for like 2 years at max, but I think that's very cheesy, you know what I mean? But and again, these games are, how you say, bigger, more expensive, more or less. If they listen, their last title was in 2015. In 4 years, they probably was developing this game for 5 years. Probably was already stated in next generation hardware because they're behind. They know what's going on behind the scenes. So we're talking about at least 4 years without making any money. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
Let me say this, all right. And Post, you may be right. Maybe that's the way of the future. But you got to think of this, right? When these people complain about, these games cost so much money to make and it's expanding and it's just too expensive, and I'm like, if you deliver a great quality game, people will buy. You will make your money. Look at and this is a prime example, right? Look at Hellblade. They spent pennies to the dollar making that game. It was graphically demanding. It was a great game. It probably wasn't the longest game in the world, but it was satisfying. And the game was $29, and that came from an indie studio. If they're able to make that off of pennies on the dollar,
okay,
and that game was of better quality, than some of these other titles that they throw out, claiming that they spent hundreds of millions.
I'm gonna answer your question for you. It didn't get a physical release. No real marketing. That's another big thing. That game was more or less from here in the community, very organic. It didn't cross over, and it never will cross over. Maybe it's not even the type of game to cross over, right? But even for a studio like, what do you call it, Ninja Theory, they even said they sell. I don't know if you watched the documentary. For them to be able to go out there and really create, they need someone behind them, you know what I mean? Because again, we're talking about a financial investment that they may not get back. Not. A lot of games that come out don't make their money back. We've seen it. You know how many developers that went belly up this generation? Not because the game was bad, because enough people didn't buy it. You know what I mean? Look at
especially indie companies.
Look at Telltale Studios.
They survive game to game.
Yeah,
a lot of those indie studios.
Yeah, and it's scary.
They're one game away from losing their jobs.
Look at Telltale Games. And I've never played.
That was a surprise to me.
That's because they made a bunch of shitty games that people didn't buy. But they've been successful.
People, man, I know a lot of them. Shit, can't make a boost of his game score. I know a lot of motherfuckers when I got them goddamn them Telltale. It's not for me. I'm not into those type of games. But that's why I was surprised that I liked it. Detroit Become Human as much as I did. You know what I mean? Because it grabbed me with the story. Now, again, even though, I'll give you an example, right? I can guarantee more or less that goddamn game from Detroit won't make his money back. You know what I mean? Look how well that game is done. You got the voice, had the big time actors and stuff, this, that, and the other. And shout out to my man. Let me say his name, Jason, right? Who's a developer that I talk to from time to time, right? I'm not saying where he works from. Just saying he's a developer, right? And I asked him, you know, maybe like you, I was looking at why, the games, and he gave me the breakdown of why games cost so much. You got voice acting, you got those actors, like real life, like in the movie. So you got that, you got the sound, you got a motherfucker back there banging the pots and pans, bing, they get a certain type of sound. You got a motherfucker holding the light overhead, like, you know what I mean? You got health insurance, you got this, all that outside of making a goddamn thing. Like, god damn, you know what I mean? Then you gotta hire other motherfuckers, because you got them smaller companies that work on certain parts of the game. All that, you know what I mean? Tech costs eats up the R&D. You know what I mean? That's not including the most part the artists that draw the shit, put it on the screen, and and they're gonna do this, that, and the other. But it's like that. That's why a lot of these companies, even like so much as like Naughty Dog, they might hire pick up a smaller team that Sony may have owned or whatever that worked on PS Vita games or whatever the fuck. Bring them in to do some shit. You know what I mean? What do you call some people that's doing Day Zero? What's the Days Gone?
Days Gone.
You know what I mean? They know making working. They worked on the Uncharted franchise.
Sony Ben.
You know what I mean? Again, like I said, that costs us a lot of money. You know what I mean? Sick time, vacation time, you get hurt. You drop the pin in like this is so much shit, you know what I mean? And then again you have it's like goes back in the day, you have IGNs, the what's one of the magazine side of things. You would pay for advertisement, you know what I mean? Or even here, on I don't know what Google makes, charge them to play an ad or again, like all that shit again eats up the budget. You know what I mean? And again, it's not guaranteed to make his money. That's why you get caught in the cycle of Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Just the same goddamn games, or even the GTAs, because those games have been proved profitable. And I mean, I like the last Assassin's Creed. We took a break, but we don't need Assassin's Creed every year. Like, to me, they kind of ruined their franchise by giving it to us every year, or even the Call of Duty. You know what I mean? But that's why, even the last Tomb Raider, some people don't like it with a hit and miss, but they've been successful. You think about it, bro. Since you've been gaming, this is old as me, you old fuck. How many franchises have we lost? How many companies have we lost?
Yeah, a lot,
bro.
A lot.
Let's think about from the day. I'm going back to the days of NES, but I'm gonna show my age here, right? You had Acclaim, Midway. You had THQ. You had so many different goddamn
Konami, pretty much.
Yeah, Konami, Tecmo. Tecmo had to partner with Sam. You know what I mean? This, that, and the other because shit became. Before, I'll give you an example, right? For developers, the golden era for them, as far as low investment high return, was during the PS2 era, before we went to HD, and you had the games that were really truly like the Dragon Quest 11s. You look at them, like, God, that shit shitty as hell, but you got a fan base of likes those games that make that goddamn game sell 11 million or whatever the fuck the case may be, right? You know what I mean? And then things changed, and you had EA get into the business, and they started doing more outside of sports games. They buying BioWares, they bought DICE, you know, because you think what EA was really known for. Well, they did make Medal of Honor, but the NBA Live and the Maddens and the baseballs and the hockey. That's when you're in the game, or the SSX. That's really what EA was really known for. I mean, not now, but a lot of people don't know this. But back then, Maddens were bigger than the Grand Theft Autos. Live was bigger than fucking Call of Duty. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, they were huge back then. Yep. You know what I mean? Into now. But so, I mean, and again, if you say that's the way the industry is going, I don't know. Or they can try, how you say, a free-to-play model. Epic was able to hit pay dirt what they did with the free-to-play model and get, they attracted the younger generations. It's not really us. Not so you don't have people our age, but what do you call it? Fortnite is huge amongst the children. I guess all my grandsons talk about Fortnite, doing Fortnite dancing. He's in Millie Rock. That's the Fortnite. I said, no, that's the rapper from Brooklyn. That's Millie Rock. Nah, he got that. Nah, he argued me down with this shit. I said, nah, he got that. Nah, he was doing it first. You know what I mean? But they were, look at 2K.
Yep.
Look, that's a prime example right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at 2K. Look how they were able to translate. And again, I see some countries are fighting back, and as far as that they pay to win, with the points and shit. But look at that right there. That's an epitome, of how that game was able to transcend. You think about shit. 2K is bigger than Madden. Who would have ever thought that? Pretty 2K much. Is just as big as Call of Duty. You know what I mean? It's like 2K is huge, bro.
Okay, there was one thing you said, Z, and it stuck out. And it's you said the free-to-play model, right? Free.
Okay.
If these guys are going to try to do a game as a service, do it and make the game free. Don't charge me $60 and then tack on a bunch of shit afterwards, or make it where I have to have a subscription or something like that for it. Look at a game like Sea of Thieves. Even though it was $29, still that was $29. That
Sea of Thieves was. I thought it was $60.
It could have been $60. Maybe I think it was $60.
Yeah, it was $60. State of Decay was $30. Yeah, it was $60. It was $60. I think, my opinion, I think Sea of Thieves would have did much better if it was a free to play. You know what I mean? I think it's not a dog shit game, but or even a game like State of Decay. You know what I mean? Even they're gonna riddle. I'll give you an example. PUBG. That will probably be just as big as I won't say as big because that art style attracts the children, but it'd be much bigger than what it was. Not granted the fact that Fortnite runs better than PUBG, 60 frames and more stable at the time, whatever the case. But that game was $30 only on the Xbox and PC and mobile. But it had it been free, you know what I mean? More people would have tried it. More people would have been out there buying, because it is kind of addictive. Get to buying this and buying that and buying this and buying your outfits. And I don't give a fuck about it, but you do, you know what I mean? Or same thing with fighters. When fighters come out, I love Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. How many game come out and now we gotta buy extra character? I want to get that character. I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. Mortal Kombat fan. I bought the XL edition when it came out. With all the characters, $100, whatever. And then they got me 2 times after that to buy the Jason, the this and the that and the this and that. It's the same.
Freddy,
yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, again, the Alien versus Predator. Like, you know what I mean? I done did it. So I'm just I'm quite sure there's the games that you like. If you've been guilty as buying shark cards or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? We talk about it, but we support it at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I agree, and that's why I don't believe that stuff like microtransactions and all that stuff, it's not going away because there's a market for it. People buy it. If people weren't buying it, it wouldn't be there.
Yes.
But what I don't want to have happen, right, is that a lot of this stuff is required, and I still have to spend $60 on a game. I don't want to do that. Give me the game for free, or charge $20, maybe $30 max, and then from there I'll take care of the rest.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think we covered just about all the topics here. I'll take a few questions in the chat right quick. I'm sitting in the chat now. So you refuse to stop harassing me, mute me. Is this how Zaire wants you to help him run his channel by muting whoever disagrees with you? Abuse of power, much slower. What the hell going on in the chat? What I got here? Question. And you guys got there. We had several topics. We had the Justice League, PSX canceled, PS5 2019 scroll today. Anybody got any questions? We add you to sit. I'm looking in the chat now.
All right, I'm looking now.
Yeah, if anything, just put at me or Kratos or whoever. Hey Jay, type something in the chat. Are you admin on the channel, Jay?
Yeah.
I don't see anything. Make any questions? Post eating chicken wings. Post back there hooking up his PS4.
Oh, he playing Spider-Man. He said it was done. We won't hear from Post for 2 weeks.
Yeah, shout out to Ice Cream Gaming. Said it was a birthday. Shout out to you. Happy birthday. I said Zoe said fighting games are a little bit different since by buying the season pass, they're not just putting the characters in a box and just charge you another $60 like how the Killer Instinct model was. It's not, a lot of those games fighters are already on the disc. I already know that they're coming out. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I'm saying I done bought the season pass, right? Or the $100 shit. And then next year they got more characters. I gotta give them another $30 for those characters.
Season 1, season 2, season 3.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I said
that's what I don't want to have happen. I don't want to spend $60, and then after that I have to spend more just to be able to keep enjoying the game. I don't want to do that.
Hey, listen, man.
I'd rather have that game free, and then if I want, if you give me something for free, I can't really argue with much, right? Fortnite, even if you don't like it or not, it's a free game, and you don't have to spend a dime to play it. You can have fun with them generic outfits and everything else, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't care about that. But when I spend $60 for freaking Sea of Thieves and I don't even get fucking Kraken legs, now I'm pissed.
Hold on.
That's what I don't want.
Griff the Emperor said next gen. How about Corey Ball or donating to Telltale's game? I think it's dope. I love it when the gaming community, the industry come together. And so on, they have a massive layoff. They pick up, hires. I think it's dope. Let me say, I'm gonna say this right, and not to get too long when we get the hell up out of here. Even though I wasn't a fan of their games or what they made, I think it sucks that we lose another developer that offered something that the community liked, or because they do have the huge fans that prefer those type of games. To me, it's no brainer for either Sony or Microsoft to go in and swoop them up and have put those games in their service, as episodic, especially with Game Pass or whatever the case may be. But that just puts us right back in the same circle of getting the fucking Assassin's Creed, the Call of Duties, you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing with that company, man. Telltale had games on the iPad, the iPhone, Android, all the systems. I mean, PC, just when you could get Telltale games from anywhere. I don't understand that. I mean, that was mismanagement there.
I think what killed them, and this is my opinion, I think those licensing fees may have killed them, because you gotta realize they was working on a Stranger Things. That's hot. That's a fucking hot. Fucking one of the hottest. That's a hot thing now. Yeah, straight. They had, what do you call it?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, another hot thing.
The Walking Dead,
The Walking Dead. Another thing that was hot. Had the license fees. I'll give you an example. We got that Friday the 13th game, right? And that game was shit when it came out, right? Even though it has its a cult following, right? They spent the majority of the money, the budget, not on developing the game, was the licensing
the name.
The name, you know what I mean? So that's just my opinion. Small studio, whatever the case may be, and I think a lot of stuff was it was licensing the game. You know what I mean? They had all of Batman. They had a Batman Telltale game. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, he said, I haven't played, listen, Ron Lamont, and I would hate to question your integrity. I haven't played Friday the 13th in a long time, but when it first came out, that game ran like shit. It was dog shit. Very glitchy. Very glitchy. You know what I mean? Lex Perry, shout out to you. Black Bear, what's up, baby? But yeah, like I said, we about to get the hell up out of here, man. I don't know what happened to Pose. I don't have it in Porter Rock, but it's me, my brother.
I'm here.
Okay, you want to say something before we go? Grand opening, grand closing? What you want to say? No, Mike went out again. Hello.
Yeah, I think it's Mike.
Oh shit, yo. Oh, my bad.
Yes.
This shit was on mute. Hey, we're doing digital streets tomorrow.
Bro, you don't want to be fucking MIA, man.
Hey, listen, man. You know when Uncle Sam calls, I gotta fucking.
Nah, nigga, you has to be in the museum sightseeing this shit. Look at this white man on. He out there eating cheese, feeding the ducks. I said, look at this motherfucker. We from Harlem. He out there feeding the ducks. And this white man is Cartier. You want some Cartier? Yeah, look at this shit.
But for real though, green opening, green closing.
Listen, I'll be back later on today with Expand Your Mind. I gotta get in contact with the Hebrew Israelite Warrior. He's cutting up on Facebook right now. So for those of you like that type of conversation, I'm gonna hit you with that around 9:30. But if you enjoyed the show today, a small token of my gratitude, hit the like button. Thank you for rocking out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You said what's up to me. I didn't see it. It wasn't me ignoring you, but here's a big shout out to everyone in the chat. Again, if you enjoyed the show, hit the like button. We out of here, man.